But see, if you've already pledged allegiance to the devil, I guess you can't renege.
Summer this year. Did you have a good summer? Yeah? What you do?
Out online and tweeted about Jay-Z's kids and, calling them the R word. Kim at this point is starting to take action legally to really make sure
he is doing, calling his kids retarded. And, it seems that his kids may have some type of, maybe autistic.
Jay-Z might want to apologize to Jaguar Wright for that Roots Picnic freestyle, because she just dragged him for filth and exposed embarrassing details about his son, Sir Carter's rumored brain disease. It's long been speculated that Sir isn't all the way 100 up there. And that is why the real reason Bianca Copyright and Jay-Z have been hiding him from the public. Now, of course, it's unclear just how true this is, but that still didn't stop Jaguar from using Sir as a major punching bag in her recent response to Jay. She said she was waiting on him to mention her so she could really go all out on him. And that's exactly what he just did. Jay thought that little freestyle was going to shut Jaguar up, but it really just made her bolder. Okay, so this entire mess started right after Jay-Z's Roots Picnic freestyle where he went in on Jaguar for having his name in her mouth. If y'all remember, he almost sued her about a year ago after she went on Piers Morgan and accused him and Bianca Copyright of some crazy things. At the time, Jay-Z responded through his lawyers, causing Piers Morgan to take down every part of the interview that featured her talking about Jay. But recently he decided to address her directly. Now granted, he has the right to do this considering just how much Jaguar has been speaking on him. However, people still couldn't help but point out how weird it was that he was just now clapping back at Jaguar even though she hasn't said anything about him for a minute now. And mind you, he dissed a bunch of people in his freestyle, but Jaguar is the only one he mentioned by name. It's almost as if he was calling on her to say something, and baby, she did. He rapped, "Questlove introduced me to Jaguar. I don't know why I still mess with him." Jaguar didn't waste any time responding to this. Just days after the freestyle, she did one of her usual interviews with Real Life Productions and went off on Jay-Z for multiple things. She started it off by directly addressing that claim he made about Questlove introducing them. According to her, the only reason she ever worked with Jay was that their now late manager, Richard Nichols, asked her to join Jay to do his MTV Unplugged show in place of Mary J. Blige. After all, Mary couldn't sing to save her life. She said, unlike what Jay wants people to believe, she didn't get popular because of that performance. She already had a whole Coca-Cola commercial before Unplugged. She wasn't there for a favor. They needed her. He was trying to reference was Unplugged. Our deceased manager, Richard Nichols, asked me. I didn't want to go. Was that the first time I met him? Absolutely not. But he's not going to be honest about it. So there's no point in me talking about it. Doing them a favor. They wasn't doing me no favor. I was Jaguar Wright building myself up in New York. Don't get me wrong. Was that a hot moment? Was that a great moment? But he wasn't everything that he later became to be. Like, this was a big opportunity for everybody involved. Was it Jay-Z? Yes. But more importantly, it was MTV. That. But Jaguar didn't stop there. She then took things a step further to call Jay-Z out for dissing Kanye for speaking on his kids supposedly being mentally deficient when he had no problem doing the same thing to Nicki Minaj's son, Papa Bear. If y'all remember, people began questioning Papa Bear's IQ when Cardi B made those comments about him not being able to talk at his age, banging spoons on tables, and his favorite color being 5. Well, guess what Jay-Z did? He checked Kanye during his freestyle for calling his kids the R-word, and even went so far as to threaten to un-Rivera him. But during the same freestyle, he brought up Nicki's son. So basically, he got mad at Kanye for bringing kids into their beef, but has no problem bringing up Nicki's son when addressing him? What exactly does Papa Bear have to do with any of this? Jay dissed Nicki for her affiliation to the MAGA party, but has Desiree Perez in as one of the heads of Roc Nation despite her being a rumored Republican, and even getting a whole pardon from Trump. And see, the whole line about can't go and pick the kid up from school now. He was talking about her husband, who's on the registry, who's not allowed near anywhere where children are. Yes, Mr. Kenneth Petty. Yeah. Yeah. But when he went and took the time to mock the little boy and to do all of that, yeah, he went at Kanye for speaking about his kids. Yeah, and then he turned around and did the exact same thing to Nicki in the same rap. Isn't that insane? A snorts, little contradictory. The contradictory? The hypocrisy is astounding. You were literally complaining, and then you got Erica sitting backstage photobombing the very children in question. Now, as I said, Jagaur isn't the first and probably won't be the last to speak on Jay's kids, especially since he's out. Here's speaking on Nicki's. Nicki hasn't responded, but we all know she ain't going to let this slide. Since he spoke to her son, she's definitely not going to let him off without speaking on Sir Carter. And you can rest assured she'll be very nasty with it. This is Nicki we're talking about. Anyway, going back to Kanye speaking on Sir's alleged mental issues, he tweeted at the time, "I need everyone to know that I took the post about Jay-Z and Bianca Copyright's family down and Jaira Lorenzo's family down, because there was a possibility of my Twitter being cancelled, not because I'm a good person. I took it down like Down syndrome, get it? Am I right? Am I right? World real talk. Everybody." He added, "There will never be an apology to the Carter family until they help me with my children. Y'all be getting one guy out of jail at a time to look prestigious. The Carters and the Kardashians are basically the same except the Kardashians are seraphic ing. Bianca Copyright and Jay-Z didn't really jump out and address the whole thing directly at the time. Aside from people saying Jay may have thrown a little something in his recent freestyle, but please believe they heard every word. And according to reports, they were not just sitting around letting Kanye bring their children into his online spiral, like it was nothing. A source close to them allegedly told Page 6 that Bey and Jay were looking at this as a legal issue and were ready to take Kanye to court if he kept playing with their family like that. And honestly, you can say whatever you want about grown folks, but once somebody starts speaking on the kids, that's where things get messy. The source said Bianca Copyright and Jay will absolutely not stand for it, and that they are shocked that Kanye has spoken about their children in such a vulgar and offensive manner. Jay-Z and Bianca Copyright are aware of the posts Kanye has since deleted, and are discussing how they want to handle this situation, whether that be privately and/or in a legal matter. Bianca Copyright's mom, Tina, also stepped in with her own response. She posted one of her little joking videos, but the real message was in the caption, where she basically called Kanye out and said his comments were ignorant and evil. She has since edited the caption, but that wasn't before people saw it and took screenshots. And it read, "It's hard to remain positive and classy in the face of ignorance and evil, but I know that no weapon formed against me or my family shall prosper. This battle is not mine but the Lord. I know that God has got this." Now, people have been whispering about Rumi and Sir for a while, mainly because Bianca Copyright and Jay keep them way more private than Blue. And because the internet can never just let children be children. Folks started making all kinds of assumptions about why the twins aren't seen as much. At first, a lot of people thought Bianca Copyright was just protecting them because of what happened to Blue when she was little. Y'all remember how nasty people were to that child online? They were calling her names, making fun of her looks, and dragging her for having strong black features like grown adults weren't sitting behind keyboards being a baby. So, it made sense that Bianca Copyright may have learned from that and decided, you know what? Music. Y'all are not about to do this to my other kids. But of course the internet took it somewhere else. Instead of accepting that maybe these parents just want privacy for their children, people started picking apart every little clip, every little public moment, and every little comment from the family. Some even started acting like they could read the kids' behavior from a few seconds of footage, which is honestly wild because you cannot diagnose a child through a viral video. For example, there is this video that went viral a while ago of Bianca Copyright having a cute tone with Rumi and Sir. And according to the online behavior experts, Rumi was allegedly showing some signs of autism. Bianca Copyright was asking Rumi Music how her summer went, and unlike most kids who will answer and be all excited, Rumi kept swinging her head around uncontrollably and barely answered the question. Sir was also looking the other way like he was distracted by something. "How was your summer this year? Did you have a good summer?" "Yeah. What you do?" Then Tina recently tried to explain their personalities a little bit, saying Sir is quieter and lower key, while Rumi is more out.